What's up guys, welcome back to Brain Gains. Welcome to the first video of my new series, Workout Walkthroughs. The point of this series is to give you workouts to do for specific areas of your body, like upper body or lower body, or for specific muscles in your body, like for example shoulders, abs, hamstrings, etc., stuff like that. These workouts are going to require weight most of the time to use. You're going to need a gym or lifting equipment at your house to be able to do these. As requested by my friend Caden, this first video is going to be about upper body, and then from there I'll probably go to lower body next episode, and then specific muscles after that. And so I guess we'll just hop right into it. A quick disclaimer for this video is I'm going to school for aerospace engineering. I'm not going to school for pre-med or biology or anatomy or anything like that. And so I don't have any formal training or education in physical therapy, or I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. And so all of the information I give you is from stuff I've looked up online and stuff that I've learned from my about 10 years of lifting experience from middle school all the way until now that I'm a junior in college. And my physique and the fact that I haven't gotten injured from any lifting exercises, I think is pretty good proof of the effectiveness of these workouts. But just take everything with a grain of salt and at your own risk, because I'm not a doctor. I don't have any certification in this type of stuff. So if you want to go talk to a physical therapist, personal trainer, or doctor about these exercises, if you really want to, and also if you're not fully confident about what you're doing before you go to the gym, make sure you look it up. And there's plenty of tutorials out there on YouTube and the internet to go look at the stuff before you actually do it. But the point of these videos, I will be showing you proper form that I do and what I think is proper and what you should do. And so keep a balance of what I take and then what you can find on the internet, and then you can go work from there. And so just want you to stay safe and stay healthy, and there's no point going to the gym and injuring yourself. So just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and make sure you know what you're doing before you go into the gym. So making a walkthrough for the upper body is kind of hard because your upper body encompasses a lot of muscles. Starting out with the arms, which are part of your upper body. We got forearms, biceps, triceps, and then that's it for the arm. But then you have traps, you have lats on your back, you got pecs on the front, you got your abs down below your pecs, and then obliques on the side underneath kind of where your armpit is. And so there's a lot of muscle that you have to work with, and so I kind of wanted to condense a few of the exercises condense a few of the muscles into a single exercise, so that you're not in the gym for hours on hours doing all these workouts for each specific muscle. And so I wanted to combine a few of them so that you're hitting multiple muscles in the same exercise. And so hopefully that wasn't too loud. There's a truck outside. But I guess, you'll see that some of the exercises I do or show y'all are for multiple muscles at the same time. And so in the future, when I go over the specific muscles that I talk about that are combined, you can do those specific workouts maybe instead of in place of these combined workouts, if that makes sense. So the first exercise I wanted to go over is reverse or inverted bicep curls. And what this is going to work is obviously bicep curls, as that even implies, but also forearms. And that's because instead of doing a regular curl where your hands are facing you, your hands are going to be facing away from you. And so having to hold the bar up instead of relaxing your wrist like this is going to be working your forearms as you lift it and do the curl. So form for that, you're going to want to, before that even form, you don't want to find one of these bars or a bar like this. The bar over on this side with the kind of angles in it are going to be easier for you to do because the angles that you can get with your hands on that type of bar are just make it easier and don't put as much strain maybe on your wrist sideways than the straight bar on this side. So to get into form, you're going to either want to find one of these benches, which is for preacher curls, or you could just do this standing up. And so I'm just going to kind of show you standing up right now form wise, and it's pretty easy. So if you find one of the, I guess they're called easy bars, which is the bar that has the angles in it, you're going to want to have it to where you're holding it to where your hands are inclined up towards the middle. And so when you hold it like that, you're going to want to start out with your arms straight and the bar kind of hitting your legs. And then all you do is just bring it up as far as you can and then just come back down. Make sure you're not swinging it and moving your back as you're doing it. Try to just keep very strict movement, and also you want to keep your elbows in to where you're not swinging your elbows out or in as you're doing it. And so that's why I like doing it with the bar instead of dumbbells, because it does keep your hands equidistant apart, and to where it's easier to keep your elbows in the whole time when you're doing these. And so it's just a very easy up and down motion, very strict, not moving your back, any of your upper body besides your arms, and you're just bringing them up and down, up and down, and that's it. So that's a very easy exercise, and like I said, this one combines your forearms and your biceps. And while it doesn't hit every single part of your forearm, because the forearm has like I think 2 or 3 different parts to it, it does get a general exercise for your forearm, and so it does work works your biceps. And so I forgot to mention this, but another way you could hit biceps and forearms doing the reverse or inverted bicep curls is using a preacher curl machine that looks like this. It may be a bit harder because the hand grips are set, and so it kind of can be hard to get a good grip and a good angle to where it isn't hurting your wrists when you're holding that grip this way and doing it. But if you can do it, and if the machine allows you to do it, you can also do it on one of them if you don't have the free mini bars or whatever you want to call them to do it the other way that I showed y'all. So the second exercise you're going to be doing, or just in the lineup, is going to be incline bench. When this works is pecs, which is your chest, and then your shoulders. And the incline that you do, like the degree of which your incline is at, is going to change which muscles are worked more than the others. And so the flatter the bench is, the more chest that's worked. The more vertical the bench is, the more shoulders are worked. And so anything above 45 degrees angle, more shoulders; less than 45, more chest. Somewhere in between is going to be around 45 degrees if your bench can do that. And so that's going to be pretty equal as far as chest and shoulders. You're going to want to just find a regular squat rack, get a regular barbell if possible. If you don't know what that looks like, I'll just put a picture right here. And then you're just going to put whatever weight you're comfortable with. Kind of a general thing in these videos, I'm not going to be going over specific weight you're supposed to be doing, or how many reps or how many sets. That's up to you. I'm just going to be showing you what exercises to do, the form to do on those exercises, and just what to focus on or what they focus on. And so, just put whatever weight you want on the bar, whatever angle you want to work more as far as shoulders or chest, like I just described. And then when you're on the actual bench, if you're at 45 degrees, which I guess my chair kind of can go back to that, hopefully, you're just going to want to coming down to around your chest. My chair doesn't really allow it that much because of the sides on it, but you're just pushing up, and you don't want to use your back. From my experience doing incline bench compared to regular bench, you want to use your back even more. And so I feel like that's a big problem people have, is that they'll try to push off with their back as they're pushing up the weight. But no, you want to have all your power coming from your chest and your shoulders, into where, if you're having to use your back, you probably need to decrease the weight that you're doing so that you can just do it and focus on just these muscles that you're using right here. And so it's just like the reverse bicep curls, in the sense that it's just down, up, down, up. And you want to have the bar coming to kind of mid-pec, more upper pec, but you don't want to be going too far down or too far up to where you're choking yourself with the bar. It should be a pretty natural down motion and up motion. And so that's literally all it is. Like I said, make sure you're using just this part of your body, no back. Surprisingly, even though this is a variation of bench, you will be using some legs, just because your legs are there as a support, and you're getting some power rooting yourself in your legs. And so have a good solid platform with your legs, and so you're somewhat lifting with your legs, but most of your power should be coming from your pecs and your shoulders, none from your back if you can avoid that. You don't want to be using your back, because that's how you strain or injure yourself, and you're just cheating yourself out of getting the full muscle activation usage out of your pecs and your shoulders, and you're not working them to their full potential, and therefore not strengthening them to their full potential either. So get the barbell off the rack, bring it down, up, down, up, and just like the bicep curls, keep it controlled. Don't be dropping the weight on your chest and bouncing it off. It's not helping you at all. you're just cheating the reps, and that's pretty much it. So on to the next one. So the next muscle that's going to be worked is going to be your triceps, which is the back of your arm right here. And so I'm going to give you 2 exercises to do for that. And the first one is one that I do for my arm days, which happens to be today. It's Monday. And then another one is one I don't do, but I've used in the past and is also very widely used. So the first one, you just want to get a dumbbell and find either vertical bench to where you're sitting straight up and down, or you can do this standing up. I just prefer sitting down because it makes me not use my back, and makes me I'm sitting straight up and down into where I'm not arcing my back, using my back in any way to aid me in this exercise. So you just want to get a dumbbell, and what I like to do is cross my hands and hold it to where my hands are against the inside of the dumbbell, and to where, I don't know if I can show this on a picture, but I can kind of point to where, this is where my hands are, a dumbbell. I'll try to kind of superimpose it over this to where I'm holding it, and to where the inside of the dumbbell is going through my fingers, and to where you hold this up over your head. You can't really see it. You're just going to stay with the arms straight, and then you just kind of bring it down or go up. We can also, I like to go back. You can do it that way, or you can also hold it like this, into where this part of your hand is still going to be against the dumbbell, but it's just, for me, it's more comfortable to do. That's why I do it that way. But you're going to want to hold the dumbbell behind your head or above your head, and then you just bring it down, and then you want to bring your elbow. You don't want to let your elbows flare out too much as you're doing this. You want to kind of bring them in as much as you can, depending on the weight that you're doing, and you just bring it down and just come back up into where the motion is just, as far down as you can go. If you come down like this, you can't do that because the dumbbell's going to be hitting you in the back of the head, but you just want to be coming down with it and bring it back up. Come down, bring it up. And like I said, make sure your elbows are as much like inward as you can and not flaring out. And that's all that one is. Okay, so that one's pretty easy. That's what I do. And then the next one is going to be using a cable machine, into where you're gonna want to find one of these bad boys. Put a picture up here, and you're gonna want to move the cable up to the very top spot that it can go. And so I gotta stand up for this one, and you want to find the rope attachment, which looks like this, and put it on a comfortable weight, and you're just gonna go up to it, grab both sides of the rope, make sure they're equally at the same height as each other, and you're just going to sit here and just pull down, and you want to kind of pull apart as you're going down. You can't really see it, but I don't know why I turned sideways. You just want to pull apart as you get into the bottom a bit, and that's going to work your triceps. You might have to do less weight than you think you can do, especially for that pull apart at the bottom, because that's really what's activating your triceps as you pull it apart. And to where for this, you just want to keep it in front of you, comfortable distance, not too far, not too close, and you just pull down. And as you pull it apart, you're going to want to kind of come to your sides with it, into where all you're doing is just pulling that weight down. And just like for the bicep curls, you're not going to be wanting using your back or anything like that, and just pulling it down, coming up, pulling down, coming up, and that's all it is. Very strict movements. Make sure you're just using your arms and nothing else, and that's your triceps. So the next muscle I want to talk about is your lat, which is on your back, and it's just below kind of your armpit, and it's just right here. And there's 2 different exercises you can do for this. They're kind of just variations of the same thing. I prefer the one with the cable, and I can put a picture of that right here. Or there's a machine version that looks like this. I just prefer the cable version just because usually your hands are closer together, and I prefer that over having a wider grip like the machine usually has. Some of them have variable grip on the machine as far as closer in or farther out, but I just preferred using the cable. And then when I look for a cable machine to do it, I usually prefer for the pulley where the wire comes out to be higher up off the ground instead of on the ground, because then I feel like I'm pulling more towards my chest and not up towards my chest, and so I just prefer pulling that straight out. So for form though on this exercise, it's pretty straightforward. There's usually going to be 2 supports for you to put your feet on that are pretty, like shoulder width apart, and then you're just going to reach forward. I like to keep my back straight for this as much as possible, so I'm not arching my back over, because you're gonna want to pull it out into where when you're at like the neutral position, it's not like at the very bottom, so it's just a bit out. And so you're not gonna want your legs super straight. You're not gonna want them super bent because you're gonna need them flat against that support, so you can get full pushing power off of that. You're not gonna be using your legs. You just want them supported, and so that you can focus on using just your back for this exercise. So you're just gonna grab the I don't know what you call it, the metal handles, and then you're gonna come back, and then you don't want to be swinging your body as you're pulling this in. You just want to be having it to where it's just completely your back, and to where you're just pulling to your chest and then letting it back out. So you should just feel it all in your lats right here, and that's pretty much it. So just keep your back straight as you pull it out, pull it to your chest, back out, pull it to your chest, back out. Make sure you're not bringing it up too high. Make sure you're not bringing it down to your abs. And we're pulling it right to your chest to where your hands are hitting your pecs, like right at the bottom of them. And so then that's pretty easy. Keep your back straight. Don't be using your back to help you lift this. Make sure it's just bring it in, let it out. Bring it in, let it out. Controlled movements. Don't just be yanking it and then dropping it, yanking it and then dropping it. So yeah, it's pretty easy. And so the last muscle I want to talk about is your abs, which, as many as you know, it's right below your pecs, right in the middle of your body, right down here. And the exercise I like to do for them is focus more on strength rather than endurance. So not many people like to do it, but you're gonna want to look for one of these machines, and then I'll show you all for them. So for this exercise, you're gonna want to find one of these attachments again, like I showed you earlier. And then it's pretty straightforward from there. You're gonna get on your knees. You want to have it to where you're far enough apart or far enough away from the machine to where you're not hitting your head when you're going down. But you're gonna grab the cords from above you on that attachment I talked about. You're gonna bring them down. You're gonna bring them to where you're holding them right here, just around your neck. And then I'm gonna have to move my other arm for balance because it's hard to do without the actual cable. But you're gonna have the cable, and you're just gonna curl forward like this. He's gonna come up. And the reason it's hard to do it without the actual cable and I need my hand to balance myself is because the weight that you're using to help you pull you up is to help balance you also. So you want enough weight on it to where the cable kind of pulls you back up afterwards. And so the main actual muscle use, or the part that you actually use your muscle on, is just on the arch down, and then you kind of letting the machine pull you up. You want it to be controlled into where you're not just coming up really suddenly, but then you're just coming down, curling until your face is almost at the ground, and you're gonna come back up, and then you want to go down and then come back up. And that's all it is. Controlled movements. This is pretty hard to show without the actual cable machine. I'll try to get a video of it next Friday to put at the end of the video, and you'll see it there. So guys, that's going to conclude my video for my workout walkthrough series, the first video at least. And I didn't cover traps or lower back, which traps are these muscles right here, and lower back is, I feel like, pretty obvious in the name, just because they're very specialized muscles, and especially traps get worked out in a lot of other exercises. And then lower back is something I'd rather just talk about in a separate video. There's not much you can do for it as far as exercises. There's very limited options, but I feel like, I don't know, lower back isn't super duper important, and that's why a lot of people don't work it, as far as it's not going to kill you if it's not super strong. For deadlift, it definitely is very important in my opinion, and I feel like, not even in my opinion, but just as an actual fact, as far as it's something you need to be able to not injure yourself, and having a strong back just kind of avoids injury in the first place. But I'll cover that in another video. And so just this video is a bit longer, I think, than I wanted it to be in the first place, but you can skip through it. I'll probably put timestamps throughout the descriptions. You can skip to each part, and I'll highlight what I'm talking about, so you can go in and look at what you want to see. And yeah, I think I did a good job. I'll try to improve from here on out as far as the content and how I go about doing these videos, but overall, hopefully y'all enjoy it. If you have any questions, as usual, put them down in the comments, or you can email me, and hopefully I'll answer those as quickly as I can. So yeah. As usual, outro though, guys. Hopefully with COVID, wearing those masks around public and around people. If you could like the video, really appreciate it. If you subscribe to the channel, really appreciate that. And I'll catch you on next time's. Adios.